So between yesterday and today, the government has done a U-turn on this issue. Why has it done a U-turn? Kiren Rijiju, Minister of State for Home Affairs, will tell us more about that. But before I come to him, let me just introduce the panel. We have with us Rita Bahuguna Joshi representing the Congress, Nalin Kohli, the BJP, Mehboob Beg, the National Conference against it, Shahid Siddiqui, Chief Editor of Duniya, T. Siva is a Member of Parliament of the DMK, and Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. So I have various strands of opinion. And please feel free to intervene as I put the first few questions to, if you're happy or not happy with what Mr. Rijuju's explanation is on behalf of the Narendra Modi government, please feel free to intervene. Mr. Rijiju, why did you do this if you had to do a U-turn? Today you are saying that this applies only to Hindi-speaking states. Now, you spoke twice yesterday and not once did you mention that this diktat applies only or is confined only to Hindi-speaking states. This circular, which I have a copy of, makes no mention of this directive being specific or limited to Hindi-speaking states. Does it? Can you show me any part of this government circular which spoke about this being limited to Hindi-speaking states, Mr. Rijiju?
Well, I have already stated today that this controversy is totally unwarranted. There was a circular on 10th of March, much before we came to the government.
Right.
There was a circular which is routine in nature.
Right.
The only thing they added was to use Hindi in social media like Facebook, Twitter and all purposes. That Hindi is to be given prominence because Hindi is an official language.
Right.
Now, the status of Hindi language as official was because of the act passed in 1963.
No, I know that. But please tell me, today you are saying... No, today you are saying that... this applies only to Hindi-speaking states. First of all, how are you going to limit social media like Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, etc. to Hindi-speaking states? It's a universal language. These are not, if these have no geographical constraints on them, the social media.
See, I am minister in charge for official language. I will speak for what is there in my department and my ministry. So that is what I said. I am not in charge of Tamil language. Because if I am said as a home minister, if I prefer what language, my mother tongue is something different which is not recognized under the Constitution of India. Now there are 22 languages which are recognized under the Constitution of India under 8th schedule. Every language is equally important. It's just that I was taking a
but the fact, if that is the case, if that is the case, and we can get counters. If we can get any of our panelists want to, Rita Bahuguna Joshi wants to counter you. I just want to add one thing. The fact of the matter, Rita Bahuguna Joshi of the Congress wants to counter you. So Shahid Siddiqui, Ms. Joshi first.
I would like to remind you that you are the State Home Minister and you've been in charge of languages. Now you have read the history of language and linguistic clashes in this country. You know that since 1937, the issue of language is a very sensitive issue because it gets associated somewhere with ethnic identity, somewhere it gets associated with cultural identity. Sometimes it is also an Indo-Aryan language being imposed upon a Dravidian language. You want to create a divide between the North and the South? The framers of the Constitution knew what they were doing. And there are so many nations in the world who do not have a national language, who do not impose languages. Language is a medium of reaching out to the people.
I will take
Mr. Rijiju is countering. Mr. Rijiju is responding to Ms. Joshi.
Promises that you made to the people.
One second. One second. Let him respond to you now.
Now you want to divert sometimes 370, sometimes languages. What is this?
Arnab, how about me, Arnab? This is totally, I will not be able to discuss in such a situation where
I will answer also about the political points raised by Ms. Rita Bahuguna Joshi.
Let Mr. Rijiju put his point and we'll take a counter question. Yes, continue.
See, please try to understand things in correct perspective. I said on 30th of March 2014, The circular is 30th of March. Please remember this date. This is UPA government was in power.
No.
I have already circulated these copies to all the press also. The circular which has been discussed about is on 30th of March.
No.
Not when we,
one minute. Just
in
no,
the power.
Mr. Rijiju, कार्यालय ज्ञापन जो मेरे पास है वो तो 27th May का है. Yes, 1 minute, Mr. Shahid Siddiqui, I'm coming. Just Mr. Rijiju, let me complete.
No.
Let me complete. The BJP's message as you went around seeking votes. Mr. Rijiju, please, just give me a second, please. The BJP's message as you went around seeking votes ahead of the elections was inclusiveness and of taking everybody along. It spoke about more power to the states, making them equal stakeholders in the country's development. Now, the BJP's manifesto was replete with promises of developing and promoting all Indian languages, not just Hindi. Yet, we see now that you are trying to promote one language, 1 minute, at the expense of English. 1 minute. You are promoting Hindi at the expense of English, which the southern states insisted should be retained as a medium of communication on par with Hindi. So you are not treating all languages equally. Shahid Siddiqui wants to come in. Shahid Siddiqui.
Arnab, I also want to come in, please.
Arnab, it's hilarious. It's hilarious that these people are justifying the rail budget, rail hike, as well as these on what UPA was doing. Don't they have their own policies? Don't they have their own mind?
Exactly.
Secondly, they must understand that English today is not only a medium of communication within the country, it's a global language, and it has brought us to a position where we have been able to become a IT global power because of English. We have superiority on China and other countries because of our knowledge of English. So let's not get into this debate, let's not get into this unnecessary controversy. It's going to harm the nation. It harmed the nation in 60s. Again, it's going to harm the nation. So what are they trying to do? They are trying to be more loyal than the king. They are trying to be more loyal than the BJP and the Sangh Parivar. So unnecessarily they are creating problems for Narendra Modi.
No, my counter to this, and I'm coming to the NC, is Mr. Rijiju, just think of it. Even if you do not wish to apply the majority principle, the fact is that Hindi is spoken or understood by 45% of the country's population. So the remaining 55% of India's population do not understand or follow Hindi. Hindi speakers may be the largest linguistic group, but they are not the majority of the country. And you cannot have the Home Ministry saying that we will now promote Hindi at the expense of English.
Hello.
I mean, you should understand that coming from the Northeast.
I think the debate is completely misplaced. No. The debate is completely misplaced. This is not the way it should be taken into. I already said that Government of India promotes all languages equally. For us, it is equal.
But
it's just that
you may use you may use the platform. You may use the you may use the social media platform to promote and communicate in Hindi, but it should not be done at the expense of English, because it doesn't make sense that you.
Please give me 1 minute. Please give me 1 minute. No. This is not the way.
What is
not the way? You have to understand my point. We were sworn in as minister on 26 May. Please try to understand this.
No.
We were sworn in as minister on 26 May.
Yes.
The circular went on 27 May, where I even don't know that I was a union minister of
So
Home.
Somebody didn't know you were in power, Mr. Rijiju.
Please.
But you were in power, Mr. Rijiju.
Please try to... No.
Arnab,
one second. Mr. Rijiju is now saying I didn't even know that this was... So I didn't take authorship over it. Mehboob Beg is coming in. Gaurav Bhatia, I'm going to come to you. Mehboob Beg.
Yes. Arnab, that's what they are doing. Yesterday they spoke RSS language. Today they realize that it is a country, they are ruling a country which is diverse in nature. They cannot do it. They talked about economics, they talked about growth, they talked about development. Now they are talking about everything one region, one religion, one language. That cannot happen in a country as diverse as ours. And then
where did religion come in? Where did religion come in?
Hindi.
Why are you bringing in religion? Where did religion come in? Where did religion come in? Nalin Kohli countering you. Nalin Kohli of the BJP is countering you.
Coming on to this, yeah. I think Mr. Mehboob Beg has no right to bring religion into this.
Nalin Kohli is rebutting you.
I mean, I think this is
Mr. Kohli is rebutting you, Mr. Mehboob Beg.
The debate you can do on the language issue if there's a confusion, but you certainly can't bring religion into this.
So why are you bringing religion into it? Why are you bringing
Does Mr. Mehboob Beg have here a fundamental kind of attitude? Why is religion coming into this debate? I want to know. Are they trying to fight the forthcoming election on the basis of religion?
They are also playing to the gallery. Is Urdu.
They are also playing to the gallery.
How many languages you want me to speak in? And then you can't do it at the...
Nobody has asked you to move from your official language. You are, Mr. Mehboob Beg, you are trying to politicize an issue where there is no politics. You are doing it because you have no other politics to show.
So you have taken a U-turn now.
Certainly not. There is no U-turn here. This is a clarification because, no, this is a clarification and I am bringing it here officially. This is a clarification by the government because y'all are making a political issue of a issue that isn't political. Government of India is for every Indian, as Prime Minister Modi has said it repeatedly. You cannot accuse us of trying to have one religion, one language, one thing fits all. We are talking of federalism. We are committed to it. This is your false allegation against us.
That in the parliament there will be simultaneous translation from Hindi to English and from English to Hindi.
It belongs to every one of us.
So for 10 years, what was the Congress party doing, Mrs. Bahuguna? Joshi, why are we making an issue of this?
The issue is being made.
No, a language is for communication.
No, it's not.
We all respect English. We all respect English as the official language. We respect the regional languages. Many people speak multiple languages in this country. Me included, you included. So why are we making an issue of a non-issue?
Because we are making. No, 1 minute. It's not being made an issue. Nalin Kohli, first correct yourself.
Make a quick point.
No, I'm coming to you, Gaurav Bhatia. First, I just want to tell Nalin Kohli, it's not being made an issue. If the Home Ministry of India has to do something, there are many internal security problems to look at. There is a lot of problems that they can fight. They should discuss how to handle the Maoist
I will answer
issue.
that.
They should. No, 1 minute, Mr. Kohli. I don't understand, Mr. Kohli.
Mr. Goswami,
Mr. Kohli, please. I just take 1 second. I don't understand, Mr. Kohli. Why the first thing? Why the first thing? Mr. Kohli, we do not believe in the business of linguistic supremacy. I am asking you one thing. How is it that the first thing, Gaurav Bhatia, the first thing that the government does is to emphasize the importance of Hindi, that also on the social media? I mean, is there nothing else to do in the Home Ministry? This is the most important thing.
Arnab,
no, and Mr. Rijiju is now distancing himself from it by saying, I didn't even know that I was a minister on the 27th of May.
Arnab.
Yes, Gaurav.
I think he's talking about routine government work taking place.
Is there nothing else to do?
Wash his hands of something.
No, Gaurav.
The sudden change in
Mr. Rijiju, as the Minister of State for Home, obviously is going to be looking at the ministry and the big issues. This is a routine thing that may have happened because the circular was made on the 27th of March.
Nalinji, I just want to make my point.
Please.
Yeah. I just want to emphasize on a few provisions that we have not been discussing so far. Arnab, I am talking about the constitution and the haphazard manner and the way the BJP has taken a U-turn is because of lack of understanding of the constitutional provision. It is correct that the constitution says that the official language is Hindi and it should be promoted, and no Indian can have a problem with that. But the constitution also talks about recognizing regional languages as official languages. And when the BJP talks about using Hindi to the exclusion of regional languages, I think the problem comes in because there is prevalent use of local official languages which are the regional languages, and therefore the BJP should understand these regional sensitivities. They should have taken the regional leaders on board also and then taken such a decision.
I'd like to answer this.
If they had read Article 343 and 346, 346 specifically talks about the state deciding to adopt a regional language as an
Party is more opposed to English.
I think
it has always been opposed to English.
Just a moment. Samajwadi Party talking about the constitution. So boys will be boys.
Why send them to English?
Therefore rape accused.
You have kept kept Uttar Pradesh backward because of
What
that.
kind of a joke are we making this
If the government of India wants to promote all languages and all official languages, if the government of India wants to promote all languages and all official languages, then I don't think it will take a lot of time if it wants to knit together the people of this country and it wants to bring people together. Then what the government can do is it can set up a unit in which messages of the government can be sent out on social media in all the languages of the country. It can be done on a simple software.
Good suggestion.
I am only, good suggestion, but I am asking today why only Hindi?
Modi himself.
But why only Hindi?
In all the languages.
So Mr. Siddiqui, if the government wants to send information, I am coming to
If Mr. Modi can do it, why not his government?
I am asking today, if you want to send out messages, if the PMO wants to send out messages in all languages, then you can send out messages in Tamil. You can send out messages in Assamese, in Bengali, in Gujarati, send it in all messages. Why are you only bringing Hindi in?
Central government is expected to do.
No, one second. Mr. Siva of the DMK, I'd like to get you in. Mr. Siva, what really is your complaint with what the government is trying to do? Where is your stand?
See, first of all, this Modi government should realize that they are ruling a country which is diverse in culture, lingual and regional. And the attempt which has been made by the Ministry of Home Affairs now amounts to imposing of Hindi. They should recall the assurance given by the late Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on the floor of the Parliament that Hindi will not be imposed on the non-Hindi speaking people as and when they wish. Moreover, Dr. Abdul Kalam, when he was the President, in his President address, has also very clearly said that the government will consider of declaring all the regional languages in the 8th schedule of the Constitution to be official languages of the Union. The DMK has been insisting it for quite a long time, and in 2013 in Rajya Sabha I have moved a private member bill urging the government to amend the Official Languages Act to declare all the 22 languages in the 8th schedule to be the official languages of the Union. Whereas the attempt which has been made by this government is breaking up an issue which is very, very sensitive. We are happy in one way. The voice which was once heard from the south only is now echoing from all parts of this country. So they should realize that they are opening a Pandora's box which will create a very, very bad situation.
Think about that,
in the coming days.
Yes.
Why are you opening this can of worms? Why are you doing this? Is the NDA ignorant of our history? The rise of Mr. Siva's party, the DMK, the rise of the DMK is attributable in large parts to attempt to impose Hindi on the non-Hindi speaking population of India. Language was the basis for the reorganization of several Indian states. Language is a sensitive issue, Mr. Kohli.
Arnab,
sensitive issue in India.
65 years ago.
Don't do these things in a hurry.
That is why you
So don't do these things in a hurry.
Government of India's clarification so that is why you
So why did you do this one day after? One day after you walk into the ministry.
Intent
A lot is
with
being
some
said
people
about
for
the
whatever
circular that
reasons may
was
have been
released. Let me say this: the current government,
diverting
government has the power not to issue that circular.
From their
decision was taken by the earlier government. That could have been revoked by this government.
Sir, I just am taking a very
They're creating a debate which is wholly unnecessary.
So I'm taking a very short break, a 1-minute break. But I just want the BJP to think tonight. In 1967, the Congress party got routed in Tamil Nadu, and the DMK raced to power. It was on the basis of these anti-Hindi protests. Hindi imperialism should not be done. I'll take a short break. I'm coming back on the other side. Debate continues. In fact, I'm told the central minister wants to come back for a clarification. Back in 60 seconds on the Newshour.
Moreover, Dr. Abdul Kalam, when he was the President, in his President address, has also very clearly said that the government will consider of declaring all the regional languages in the 8th schedule of the Constitution to be official languages of the Union. The DMK has been insisting it for quite a long time, and in 2013 in Rajya Sabha I have moved a private member bill urging the government to amend the Official Languages Act to declare all the 22 languages in the 8th schedule to be the official languages of the Union. Whereas the attempt which has been made by this government is breaking up an issue which is very, very sensitive. We are happy in one way. The voice which was once heard from the south only is now echoing from all parts of this country. So they should realize that they are opening a Pandora's box, which will create a very, very bad situation.
Think about that,
in the coming days.
Yes.
Why are you opening this can of worms? Why are you doing this? Is the NDA ignorant of our history? The rise of Mr. Siva's party, the DMK. The rise of the DMK is attributable in large parts to attempt to impose Hindi on the non-Hindi speaking population of India. Language was the basis for the reorganization of several Indian states. Language is a sensitive issue, Mr. Kohli.
Arnab,
sensitive issue in India.
65 years ago.
Don't do these things in a hurry.
That is why
So don't do these things in a hurry.
Government of India's clarification, so that is why you.
So why did you do this one day after? No, one day after you walk into the ministry.
Intent
A lot is
with
being
some
said
people
about
for
the
whatever
circular that
reasons may
was
have been
released. Let me say this: the current government,
They are diverting.
the current government has the power not to. Issue that circular.
From their
Their decision was
agenda.
taken by the earlier government. That could have been revoked by this government.
They're diverting it.
Sir, I just am taking a very.
They're creating a debate which is wholly unnecessary.
So I'm taking a very short break, a 1-minute break. But I just want the BJP to think tonight. In 1967, the Congress party got routed in Tamil Nadu. And the DMK raced to power. It was on the basis of the basis of these anti-Hindi protests. Hindi imperialism should not be done. I'll take a short break. I'm coming back on the other side. Debate continues. In fact, I'm told the central minister wants to come back for a clarification. Back in 60 seconds on the Newshour.
This is Times Now, Supine Time.
Just to put it in historical context, Kiren Rijiju is coming back to the debate. Jaynarayan Vyaas is also joining the debate. So we have strong BJP representation tonight. This whole resistance to Hindi, Mr. Kiren Rijiju, and I know you come on, you go back to 1949, T.T. Krishnamachari told the Constituent Assembly something. I'll just quote this to you. And by the way, I don't understand why within 24 hours of, getting into the Home Ministry, this Hindi push happens, as if there's nothing to do in the Home Ministry. T.T. Krishnamachari said, I would, sir, convey a warning on behalf of the people of the South for the reason that there are already elements in South India who want separation, and my honourable friends in UP do not help us in any way by flogging their idea of Hindi imperialism to the maximum extent possible. Sir, it is up to my friends in UP to have a whole India. It is up to them to have a Hindi India. The choice is theirs. The choice is theirs. These are the words of T.T. Krishnamachari way back in 1949. I don't think we've learned the lessons, Mr. Kohli. Even today, we haven't learned the lessons. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia. Don't think of it politically. Gaurav.
You asked that question. Let me answer
I have.
that, Mr. Goswami.
Okay, Mr. Kohli first.
Mr. Goswami, 1 minute. How can you say we haven't learned the lessons?
Because
how can you say we haven't learned the lessons?
Because you're not promoting all languages equally.
Unified country. There has ever our priority is to get the health of this economy back.
Right.
Our priority is to deal with Maoism. The Home Ministry is working in all of this. You believe that this is an agenda. It's not an agenda. I think this is the clarification of the Home Ministry has to be welcomed.
I disagree with that argument completely. As of March this year, there are an estimated 33 million Twitter accounts in India and 93 million Facebook accounts. The primary vehicle of communication on all these platforms remains English. Will the use of Hindi over English to communicate the views of the government not alienate a huge section of people in the social media who are accustomed to reading in English? And why would you do that?
Not help the government.
What do you gain?
Yes.
What do you gain?
But
I don't understand.
Simultaneously, just to point out on that only, because we used it in the campaign, simultaneously, the regional platforms and the Hindi platform on social media is increasing at a fast pace. So there is a whole section there that does it.
Okay.
So I mean, as you said earlier on, it could
Opening
be an idea
up,
like Mr. Modi was doing in the election.
Gaurav Bhatia.
It could go in all the languages on the social media. And why not?
Gaurav Bhatia first, please. Gaurav Bhatia first, Ms. Bahuguna Joshi after that. Gaurav Bhatia first.
It is one thing to promote Hindi, And the Samajwadi Party is the strongest proponent to promote Hindi as an official language. But to violate the constitution which recognizes other regional language as official language as well, I think is something which is very disturbing. 65 years back, the framers of the constitution...
The Samajwadi Party should focus on governance, less about own languages.
Play a very important role. And this BJP government does not understand the responsibility it has for the entire nation. So therefore, why rush?
Please don't teach us responsibility, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, coming from a party whose leader says boys
Kiren
will
Rijiju.
and we cannot hang them for committing rape. Please don't teach us this, Mr.
Rijiju.
Take these words of advice to your party.
1 second, don't make it this a UP debate, please. Kiren Rijiju, my question to you is... No, 1 second. You see, Mr. Rijiju, since you are the minister in charge of languages and you've been quoting the law, I'd just like to ask you, section 120, Mr. Rijiju, of the Constitution says that English together with Hindi is the language of the Indian Parliament. The question here is of giving equal weightage to both English and Hindi, not using one at the expense of the other. Now, this note of yours, which is 27th of May, is about riding roughshod over English, promoting Hindi at the expense of English. Unless you want to marginalize a large part of the Indian population, why would you do that? Why, Mr. Rijiju? It's not about what you want to promote, but at whose expense you want to do that.
Please give me 30 seconds. I said today's clarification was because there were unwarranted news doing around that we are imposing Hindi. Please remember one thing. I and Rajnath Singh assumed our office on 29th of May.
Yes.
When this, you are talking about circular which was issued on 27th of May.
Yes. So who did this?
That circular, if you read carefully, was quoting what was already issued on 10th of March 2014.
Right.
Now, we are unnecessarily being accused of trying to impose Hindi.
No, 1 second.
That is why the clarification was
Mr.
issued
Rijiju,
that there is nothing called imposition.
Mr. Rijiju,
it was a normal, regular, routine meeting
but
of
Mr.
the ministry
Rijiju,
where I am the minister in charge.
Mr. Rijiju.
This was blown out of proportion
Mr. Rijiju,
and dragged into unnecessary controversy.
Now, Mr. Rijiju,
totally unacceptable.
No, Mr. Rijiju, it is you can't get away by saying that.
If people have to protest, then when Congress government, UPA government issued the circular, why was there no any kind of protest?
Mr. Rijiju, 1 second. I take you back.
And we have found that circulars were issued when we were not in the government.
Mr. Rijiju, 1 second.
I don't know how this matter was twisted around.
Mr. Rijiju, now what you're trying to do, is that you are trying to. Mr. Rijiju, you can be.
We are a country of multilingual, multiracial, multi-religion.
Mr. Rijiju, hear me for a minute. Hear me for a minute. Mr. Rijiju.
Some of the leaders,
you're not listening now.
We are dividing on religious and linguistic line and all. This is very unfortunate. That is why a clear clarification was issued today, and the controversy should have been done. There's nothing called controversy actually.
1 sec, Mr. Rijiju, your initial comment yesterday made absolutely no mention of the government keeping the circular specific to Hindi-speaking states. If you are saying this, my question is, yesterday, why were you just... No, Mr. Rijiju, listen to me, Mr. Rijiju.
There are K and K categories.
Mr. Rijiju...
are those states whose mother tongue are Hindi.
Mr. Rijiju...
These circulations which are doing around, it's only for those states.
Mr. Rijiju, when it was your comment yesterday...
rumors are doing around, then we also issue...
How do you have geographical boundaries on social media?
Things which is not there actually in the department or ministry. It's unwarranted. That's why I said it is not even a matter to be discussed at this length. It was issued long time back.
Mr. Rijiju, if it was
passed during 60s, we had nothing to do with
Mr. Rijiju, first of all...
I'm just a minister in charge in the ministry which deals with official language.
Yes.
It was just a normal routine exercise. Why we were blamed of
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please, Mr. Rijiju? Can you hear me? Can you hear me for a minute?
We intend.
You're not listening, Mr. You're making a speech. You're not listening to the question.
On equal footing. That's all.
Mr. Rijiju, I just want you to listen to me for a minute, please. Yesterday, your comments were taking authorship for the circular. You said, I have taken a decision that we will give priority to the promotion of Hindi. One minute, now let me come in all communications in various departments because it is our official language. Today you are saying it's not my note, it's somebody's note. I was not even a minister when this note was made. Then why did you take authorship for it yesterday?
That Hindi is not being used enough. It is an internal thing. It is not a directives to the states. Please understand that.
Well, you took authorship for it yesterday. You're not taking authorship for it today. But anyway, I take your point, whatever your clarification is worth out there. But Mr. Beg, why are you bringing religion into...
fact. I'm not diverting...
Mr. Siva wants to ask a question. Yes, Mr. Siva. Mr. Siva wants a... Mr. Siva is coming back to the debate. Mr. Siva. Mr. Siva.
No, Mr. Goswami, I would like to get a clarification, Mr. from Rijiju. If he says that this has been drafted by the earlier government, this is not the responsibility of the incumbent minister now to hold it back, that it will create controversies. It's not just pushing the burden on another party or another government and we just passed on. It means that you are approving it. You should have realized the consequences of it and you should have hold back the circular which you have issued now, which has raked up a very, very sensitive issue.
I already said
it's not your responsibility.
On 27 May. I assumed the office on 29 May. Please.
But why didn't you pull it back? He's asking you, why didn't you pull it back?
You were taking pride in this circular.
No, you were
claiming it. You were claiming that circular. You were taking pride in your
government doesn't cease to function just because a minister is not there, no?
No, but why was Mr. Kohli?
Is Ms. Joshi trying to come in and make a political point of it?
No, Mr. Kohli, there are
problem is in what Ms. Joshi
there are four. You can't have two lines of argument. You can't say.
What do you mean by root? You were claiming it. We'll find out what truth you are.
No, my argument is to her making a political point of it. My argument is not about the issue that we are discussing. That's why I'm saying if she wants to make a political point on that, she has to acknowledge that the circular was done in March when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was in office. And if you would like, I could name the Home Minister also in case there's an issue.
No, there is a slight confusion here, and I want to thank Mr. Rijiju for joining us. I'm going to. With Jaynarayan Vyaas also waiting, we are going to get him on the line next. 1 second, Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav, the root question at this point is this: the mystery over this circular, which we broke on Times Now yesterday, is one, I don't understand. If it is not a government circular which the Minister of State does not know, the Cabinet Minister does not know, Mr. Rijiju does not know, Rajnath Singh does not know, then why till 24 hours back were they taking ownership and saying it is our note? Secondly, if it is someone else's note which Mr. Siva says can be divisive on a very sensitive issue, why did they not oppose the note? I mean, if somebody authored it, you saw it, why did you not oppose it? It can't be a situation...
I can answer that. It's not complicated at all.
So the only conclusion which can be drawn in these circumstances is that it was...
There are many decisions of the previous government which can be revisited by this government, and the most unfortunate part is that they themselves don't know what is happening in the Home Ministry, and they do not even have the courage to say that yes, we want to promote.
We certainly know much better than what Mr. Akhilesh Yadav knows what is happening in the whole state of Uttar Pradesh. What are you teaching us about governance, Mr. Bhatia? Why don't you give the same advice to your own chief minister?
I can talk about
letting all
come on. Are you expecting us to... Can we have a sensible debate?
And they don't know what...
I mean, you're giving us ideas about governance. I mean, first of all, it's not a note on a policy issue. A note on a policy issue will go right up to the minister. Circulars are issued. Even just now, the transport department in any one of the states of India might be issuing a circular, routine circular, which does not require the minister's concurrence. So I think you are confusing policy. You are confusing policy. You are quoting the constitution constantly, Mr. Gaurav. But I think you first need to read how governance takes place. A policy is different to a circular.
No, my concern is on another level. 1 second, there is another circular sent out. Gentlemen, 1 minute. Mehboob Beg has to come back to the debate, please. Mehboob Beg has to come back to the debate. Mehboob Beg, please. Don't exclude him from the debate. Yes, Mr. Beg.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. Arnab, please. No politics on language, please. Please, for heaven's sake.
Who's doing it?
No politics at all on language. please, number one. Number two, you can't impose anything on in a democratic country and on a citizens of a democratic country.
Absolutely.
So BJP, if let's take them at their face value, if they have realized and they have gone back and taken a U-turn for good, I think we must accept that and leave it there. We can't do it in a democratic country like ours. We can't impose anything. We have to evolve a consensus, take everybody on board, and then take a decision. You can't forget about the sentiments of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the sentiments of Tamil people and rest of the country. So you can't do that.
But why did you? Would you like to? Would you like Mr. Beg? No, but Mr. Beg, you can't say one thing and then go back on it. You can't take one position then try to take a high moral ground till 15 minutes back in the debate. Till 15 minutes back into the debate, Nalin Kohli challenged you by saying, "Why are you bringing religion into it?" You quickly moved away from it. You were politicizing it. You brought in religion into it. You brought in religion in the aspect of language. You make a dangerous cocktail of religion and language and then you take a high moral ground on it? Mr. Beg?
Allow me. That's what BJP is doing.
But did you not?
You can accuse BJP for doing that.
You brought in religion.
What they want to do.
Where in the circular is there a reference to religion? Show me a part of the circular.
No, just hang on. I will tell you.
Make up your mind, Mr. Mehboob.
I will tell you.
Based on Mr. Goswami's question,
I will tell you.
You can't have
what
a shifting
do they mean
stand.
by uniform civil
come
code?
on, please tell me what your stand is.
What do they mean by abrogation of Article
2 minutes
370?
ago, he was talking something sensible.
What do they mean?
We were agreeing.
And now imposing a language.
Mr. Goswami
We are not against Hindi. How can you impose a language
at this rate,
on
you will
every
keep going in
citizen of this
circles, Mr.
country?
Mehboob Beg.
How can you do that?
Mr. Mehboob Beg, you
That
keep
is
going
their
in
hidden
circles.
agenda.
This is how you change your stand.
Because they want to they had promised good governance.
You are saying we should welcome the
They had promised development. They had promised progress. They had promised
you're constantly
peace.
going in circles.
They had promised resolution of all issues.
Where was the
agenda like you?
Which are
You're the
important to
one
the
who brought
country.
religion
Now,
into this
where
debate.
from have
And
they
I'm
come up
sorry
with
to
these
say,
issues?
India is rising beyond that.
I want to ask
because you have a disastrous performance in your
I want to ask what just Mehboob Beg, by the way, Mr. Beg, I have a lot of Mr. Beg, I have a lot of regard for you. You are a very experienced legislator. You are one of the most experienced legislators in this country. But Dr. Mehboob Beg, with respect to you, Article 370 and Uniform Civil Code have nothing to do with this Home Ministry circular. Unless you want to create that divide, please don't try and link up these unrelated issues, Mr. Beg. And the Congress,
you know RSS agenda. You know their agenda. This is what their agenda is.
What, the RSS is not running Government of India, Mr. Mehboob Beg. Please wake up. Prime Minister Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He is from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The RSS is not running the Government of India. Stop spreading these canards for your own political reasons.
Shahid Siddiqui, coming back to the debate. 2 minutes left. Shahid Siddiqui, please. Shahid Siddiqui wants to come back to the debate. Gentlemen, 1 minute. Shahid Siddiqui's turn, please. 2 minutes on the debate. Shahid Siddiqui, please. Rita, Bahuguna, Joshi after Mr. Siddiqui.
But for every major decision, they have to rush to the RSS to consent them.
But you are creating a divide between Hindi and other languages. It's a beautiful language. Please don't make it controversial.
Now let me come in. Ms. Joshi, let me come in. Look, India cannot afford this kind of debate at this juncture. We are going through a very difficult phase, not because of Congress, not because of BJP, because of the global situation, because of the situation in the country, and we want to get out of this because of this economic mess we are in, and we have to get out of this, and we cannot afford this kind of controversy. So I will request everybody, the government and all the parties, that don't get into this debate, and even the media, please don't get into this language debate. Once if this genie is out of the bottle, then we will not be able to put it back. In 60s we have suffered from it, and we don't want to suffer.
Stop giving us advice, Ms. Joshi. We understand our responsibility.
Please.
Shahid Bhai is making a fair point. Let's hear that.
Get together. This is a genie. This genie is out of the bottle, then we will all suffer. The country will suffer. So let's not do it.
Gaurav Bhatia.
Let's not do it. Because, I mean, it's
one
very easy
last
to
thing
allow
I want
this
to
thing
say,
to happen.
I heard
But once
Mr.
it's out
Nalin
of
Kohli
control,
say,
it will be
Mr. Nalin Kohli
impossible
was
to put
saying
it back.
that the BJP government is in
60s, 70s,
place
country has
and not
suffered.
the RSS for all important decisions. In the past, we have seen that they have to rush to the RSS headquarters to take instructions and then implement decisions.
Every
So how
time
can
Mr.
we be
Gaurav
assured
Bhatia
that
makes
they
a
can act
comment, I think he
independently?
commits a major self-goal. If he was a football
Mr.
team, he would have
Bhatia,
committed the maximum number of goals against himself. I mean, every time he speaks, you have a chief minister in Uttar Pradesh who has 3 uncles, one his dad, and 4 other people constantly doing U-turns about his own government. And here he's giving us lessons of governance. What a joke it is, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. Why don't you reserve these advices for your own
I
party?
think the football fever is on, and that is why you're talking about
If the BJP becomes
terms from the
aggressive,
football.
it is not that you can cover up.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you liked it and you took it in the right spirit. But the message still remains the same, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia.
Even when the season is not there, even when the football season is not
Mr.
there,
Siva.
Samajwadi Party is very good at scoring self-goals.
Mr. Siva, before I go to the break, last word from you here. You said to Kiren Rijiju, don't exclude the DMK on this issue, please. The DMK actually came to birth on the basis of an anti-Hindi agitation.
Yes.
Let Mr. Siva have a word in. Yes, Mr. Siva.
Yes.
Yes. See, the clear mandate which has been given to this government emphasizes that it needs the government to serve and not to harass. Moreover, there are very, very important economic issues to be addressed and social development issues. Whereas this government is focusing on some other issues which create controversies. You rightly quoted Article 120 of the Constitution that English, which is the associate language, has appeased the people who are agitated in Tamil Nadu and in other parts of the country. We are against the imperialism and imposition of Hindi in any manner. They assured that it is a minimum government and maximum governance, but it now seems it's a minimum government with maximum controversies. One minister comes and says abrogate Article 370. Another minister comes and says Muslims are not minorities. Another minister comes and says give priority to Hindi. So these are all good signs. So we would like to give only one warning or one message to the government. Kindly don't repeat this in future, or else the relentless, untiring war from the south will be unleashed and we will be compelled to fight against it. We are always against the imposition and imperialism, and in any manner it should not reflect in the future.
And well, we assure you we will not govern like we saw with Mr. Raja and the other ministers of the DMK and the mega scandals that brought this economy back by years. We give you our assurance. Under Prime Minister Modi, you will see a good, effective, efficient administration that delivers the
we are discussing about something.
Indian, which includes
we can also talk about from Pramod Mahajan. We can talk about Pramod Bhagat. See, this is a warning from the people of Tamil Nadu on behalf of DMK. Our leader has also told that.
What is about Mr. Pramod Mahajan?
The issue which you are told.
One case that he
if you are diverting, I am prepared to argue.
Did he spend months
even that spectrum issue, he also comes in.
How can you bring one of our former persons who's no more in this world? Are you dropping the debate to this level, Mr. Siva? That you will bring a dead man in to bring your own debate when there is nothing against Mr. Pramod Mahajan? Is this the dirty level to which you will take politics, Mr. Siva?
Who said?
You can do your politics. Please don't stoop. I'm talking to you on facts, Mr. Shiva. Your minister spent time in jail. So did your chief's daughter, who's a member of parliament, on the 2G scam. So is a senior member of your party being interrogated. Don't you dare...
Let him respond now, please, Mr. Kohli.
Just because I'm asking you one
he made a point, let him respond now.
This is not the way for a debate.
Right to bring up the name of respected Pramodji, who's no more.
That's all right, you made your point, let him
not the way for a debate.
Certainly, and I'm answering you back in the same way as the debate shouldn't be conducted.
You are leveling a question,
I agree with you. That's why I say you should reserve your comments.
When the secretary of the DOT was out of session, we know what happened in the year when he was...
Please don't go back and try to make fictitious things. Just because some script might have in your party doesn't mean that you can slip out a controversy of your liking.
Mr. Siva and Mr. Kohli, a fundamental issue at this stage, however, is this.
Attempt in imposing Hindi in any manner, which will be retaliated from the south.
Use language. 1 minute, just a minute. Mr. Kohli, a more important question to ask
today is giving us a warning. And a warning for what?
Concentrate on economic issues.
He's saying don't have any form of linguistic imperialism.
Of course, you are not hearing what Prime Minister Modi is saying, Mr. Shiva.
Talk about Samajwadi Party government in UP.
Now, anyway, now one thing I'd say is I am only concerned today that if Rajnath Singh did not know, if Kiren Rijiju did not know, one second, if Rajnath did not know, if Kiren Rijiju did not know, if nobody knew, then who got this thing done where you're going to promote Hindi at the expense of English? I hope it's not anyone from outside the government.
Mr. Goswami, it's a circular, not a policy.
I hope it's nobody from, because you know there are suggestions being made of RSS influences, etc. I hope it's not the case. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.
This is Times Now Super